Are you preparing to sell your house in 2021? Well, 2021 is a very different market. The good news is it's a seller's market. So I'm going to tell you the 6 steps to selling your house for the highest price and the least amount of stress. I'm Shaheedah Hill, helping you confidently buy or sell your first home. And today I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to kind of give you why it's a seller's market, the opportunities you have, and how you can work with your realtor to get your house sold for the highest price possible. Thank you so much. If it's your first time here, please like and subscribe to my channel for new videos every week. First, I want to say, why is it the best time for sellers to sell? Again, we've never seen a market quite like the one we're in now. Now, the pandemic brought a lot of challenges, but it also brought a lot of opportunities. The Fed lowered interest rates, which had an impact on mortgage rates. So the mortgage rates we see now are some of the lowest that we've seen. Definitely they hit their lows in 2020, but they're still low, although they've been rising a little bit. And I'm filming this March 1st. They've been rising a little bit, but they're still very low. Number 2 is inventory. In most markets, less people are selling their home. So March of last year versus, or let's go February of 2020, and that's right before the pandemic hit, home sales are down in most markets 40 to 45%. So you have almost half the amount of homes off the market than that were on sale last year around this time. So with mortgage rates being low and with buyers out in the market trying to buy a house, people are very much valuing having their own home more than ever before, because when the pandemic forced everything to close, people started working from home. Children had to be homeschooled. We couldn't go out as much, so now they want outdoor space. Your home went up in value for a lot of different reasons. So because of demand, because of the pandemic, people are valuing homes and the low interest rates. So your house is a hot commodity, and a lot of people want them. If you'll see in your neighborhood, if there's been any sales, I'm sure there have been multiple offers on homes in your neighborhood. So that's why it's a perfect time to sell. Now, what are most sellers getting in this seller's market? They're getting multiple offers. They're getting offers above asking price. They're also getting a lot of cash offers. You have a lot of people relocating and selling their properties, and they have the ability to pay cash. You also have a lot of investors in the market trying to buy and sell cash. They're also getting a lot of buyers are waiving finance contingencies and appraisal contingencies. So you have a huge opportunity as a seller to make the most money from your home purchase. And it doesn't have to be that you bought your home that long ago. Probably if you bought your house at least probably 2 years ago, you stand to make money in this market. 90% of homeowners have equity in their homes. And if you unfortunately were hit by a layoff or a decrease in employment and you're on forbearance, it's still an excellent time to sell your home and get the equity out, until you regain employment and then purchase again in the future. So let's get into the 6 steps to get the most from your home sale. So number 1, you need to determine why you're selling and where you are going. Because it's such a seller's market, when you sell, then you become a buyer. So you're going to be on the other end of that trying to find inventory. So you have to know where you're going. Are you going to be selling and buying again? Are you going to be moving in with family? Are you going to be renting? Are you going to try to do new construction? You have to have a plan in this market, because if your plan is to sell your house and buy another house, you need to research that first to say, okay, if I sell my house, because your house more than likely is going to sell quickly, you have to have the next step. What's that next plan going to be? And I'll kind of walk you through some options that you may have. But you have to know where you're going and why you're selling. So do you need to upsize? Do you need to downsize? Do you need to help with family? Do you need to cash out and pay off some things? Like, what are your goals and where are you going after the home sale? Now, a lot of people ask this, well, where do I get my money and how do I get paid? When you sell your house, they will pay off if you still have a mortgage. If you still have a mortgage, the title company or the closing attorney will go ahead and pay off your mortgage, and then any remaining funds will be wired to you at closing, like wired to your bank account, or you get a check right at closing for the proceeds. So that's how you get your money after you sell your house. All right, so let's go to number 2. I think you should find a realtor. For the most part, you're going to earn less money if you try to sell your house yourself. It'll just be an easier process for you to sell your house with a real estate agent. But if you're interested in selling it by yourself, I'm sure there's some other videos, but this video specifically will go using a realtor in the purchase. All right, so where can you find this realtor? You can, if you're still in contact with the person that sold you your house, you can use that person. You can do referrals from family or friends. You can find someone online like me that specializes in your area. Or so like they're on YouTube, I'm sure, they're on Instagram, Facebook. Also, you may find agents that work exclusively or primarily in your subdivision, in your community, and you could reach out to one of them as well. Now, in this market, you also see a lot of iBuyers. I'm not going to name a lot of them, but people that are companies that are willing to buy your house cash. Only do this if you do not want the most money for your house, because a lot of these iBuyers, the reason why they're buying your house cash is so they can turn around and sell it as at a profit. So they can't buy it from you at market value and then turn around and sell it for a profit. So they're actually giving you less than what your house is worth, and then they are turning around to sell it to somebody else. So iBuyers are everywhere. They're offering to buy your house cash. Just be mindful, although it may sound easier, it's very easy to sell your house in this market. So even though they're saying you don't have to have any showings and that and this, a lot of people, you won't have to have your house on the market for long in this market anyway. You might be able to put your house on the market for a weekend and get multiple offers. So only do an iBuyer situation if you want to sell your house for less than market value and not get the full amount that your house is worth. And you can always compare what the iBuyers are giving you to what the real estate agents are saying your house is worth and what they can get you for your house. So you can always compare those two things. Real estate agents generally charge between 5 and 7% commission. Let me say that again, between 5 and 7%. But there's no set rate. You can negotiate this rate with the agent. And a lot of the iBuyers as well have, although they'll give you that cash offer, they also have fees or commissions or some kind of administrative fee that kind of matches what a real estate agent would be charging you. So you want to, if you're comparing, make sure you're comparing apples to apples. And again, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I'll try to address as many as possible. So in this commission, so say you agree to pay your agent 6%. That agent is going to get that money if they find a buyer and the home closes. So they don't get paid until your house closes. And typically what happens if the buyer comes and they have their own agent, your agent will split that commission with the buyer's agent. So that 6% in most cases gets split. Well, they'll keep 3% and then the buyer's agent will also get 3%. Or if you did 5%, one side will get, the buyer's agent will get 2.5%, and your agent, your listing agent, will get 2.5%. Sometimes they cannot do it evenly. They may take 4% and offer the buyer's agent 2%, but all of that should be in the contract, in the listing agreement, and it's whatever you guys negotiate. There's no set amount for commission, and all agents can charge different things. So it's a good idea to interview at least 3 agents to see what they're offering you and what the commission that they're charging is. Okay? Now, number 3, once you choose an agent, you're going to prepare your home for sale. And this is where the agent proves to be very valuable, because they will help you in the preparation of putting your house on the market and getting it ready for sale. So one of the things that you'll want to do, or is optional for you to do, is to do a home inspection. I know the buyer more than likely will do a home inspection, but to me it's in your advantage to do a home inspection on your own, because the primary reason that contracts terminate is one or two reasons: home inspections and financing. So if you want to get an inspection to kind of see what the buyer is going to see, and then try to fix some of those things ahead of time, especially if you've been living in your house for a long time, you can address some of those items up front. Sometimes you even can share the inspection report with the potential buyers to tell them, these are all the things that have been fixed. This is everything's working and in good condition. Maybe you can get your HVAC service. You can, do everything you need to do to make sure your house is in great condition. But your agent can advise you on that to see, okay, should you do that or should you not, based on the condition of your home. And then I want you to also address any deferred maintenance issues. I know as homeowners, you're living in your house, and when something goes wrong, you don't automatically fix it, especially cosmetic items. I know we had a leak from our upstairs bathroom to the downstairs. We fixed the leak, but we didn't paint that part of the ceiling yet. So those types of things, when a buyer comes to your house and sees it, they might say, oh, they have a leak in the roof, even though that leak has been, or a leak in the ceiling. Even though that leak has been repaired, the effects of that leak are still showing. So for buyers, they're automatic, like red flags are going off on in their heads. So you want to address any deferred maintenance issues that you may have overlooked in the past. And because sometimes as homeowners, we become house blind because we've been in this house so long, your agent can help you find those things and suggest some things that you can fix. But again, it's also a seller's market, so a lot of buyers are going to overlook some things because there's not that many homes on the market to choose from. All right, I want you also to neutralize your home. So make it, and again, we're all preparing our home for sale, make it very neutral, kind of like a model home. You want to make sure everything is neat, everything is clean, windows are open, very bright. Think about like a model home or HGTV. People are very visual, and they want to see themselves there. So any personal photos, say you collect Star Wars figurines and you have them all around your house, you may want to put those away and pack them up. Or if you have children with a lot of toys, you want to put those away and pack them up. You want to show them that they can maximize their space in the house and that they can see themselves utilizing the space. Even if you have like an extra bedroom, maybe you turn that into an office or just put a desk in there. So if they, a lot of people are working from home, so they can see that the potential of all the space that you have. If there's any landscaping you want to take care of, you want to make your house look the best, so you get multiple offers or even offers above list price. All right, so after you have the house ready, then your agent will organize to have professional photos, so it can be online, it'll be on Zillow, Realtor, it'll go everywhere in most cases. And the agent can tell you their marketing plan when they meet with you to tell you how they will be marketing your property. So all of those things will be done. And to organize yourself, you may want to put post-it notes in each room so okay, these are the things I want to do before I put the house on the market. All right, so once you have it on the market, pictures are done, professional photos, now it's time for you to show your house. So you're going to show your house. Typically, there's going to be a lockbox. I should have brought a copy. But they'll put a lockbox on your house so that agents can come and show your house. So you want to put away any valuables, that sort of thing. But they will schedule with your agent to show the house. Your agent will give you advance notice. They will show their house. You can have your Ring doorbell on. If you have cameras in the house, that's fine. If you don't trust all these people in your house, but just know if they're using that lockbox, they're only licensed agents that are allowed to show in your house. So you'll know exactly who's coming in, who came in with them, and they'll have a log of who's been in your house at all times. So don't feel that that nervous about that. They're with licensed individuals entering your house. Now, after you've shown it, and again, in this seller's market, you may instantly get offers. In some markets, people are getting 10 offers, 20 offers, 30 offers. And although that is great, You also have to have an agent that's well organized, because when you get 30 offers, you will be overwhelmed in most cases, because they're all coming in PDF contracts, they have exhibits, they have all of these things with them. So you want an agent that's organized to kind of put them, they have to present by licensed law, they have to present all offers to you. And they should be helping you determine which one is the best offer. What are the best terms? What are the best? It can't just be price all of the time. And let's talk about that for a second. Because if somebody, say your house is on sale for $400,000 and somebody bids $450,000, and that's your highest offer. If you know, because your agent has done analysis to see what your house is worth, and I kind of skipped that a little bit. But during the consultation with the agents, they will give you the value of your house based on the comparables on the market. If you want to go a step further, you can pay for an appraisal ahead of time to see exactly what your house is worth. A lot of people don't go to that step because it costs a little bit more. But a comparative market analysis is basically them comparing what other homes have sold for that are most like yours. So they're going to give you an idea what your home is worth. All right, so let's go back to that. So when you've decided on the list price with your agent of $400,000, and then somebody bids $450,000. Now, if you're, based on your analysis, you think your house is worth $400,000. So if they bid and they're doing financing, so they're either doing conventional or FHA financing, there's going to be an appraisal. And if the house is not appraised for $450,000, then the most their lender will lend them is $400,000. So then you have a $50,000 gap. So during the offer evaluation phase, when you're evaluating all of these offers, you want to see, okay, even though they're bidding more, do they have the money to pay to cover the gap? So do they have if it doesn't appraise for $450,000, are they going to come in cash with the difference? So they'll take out the loan for $400,000, and then they will pay you in cash the $50,000. Now, this is where your agent needs to come in big time. They need to, number one, for all offers that you're considering, they need to call the lender to verify financing. And there's some questions that your agent should be asking the lender, because you don't want your home to fall through based on a finance contingency. Although these people were approved for your house, then they don't get it, because ultimately when they're going through underwriting, getting their loan approved, they're not approved. So you want to make sure that the offer that you accept is strong financially. So I would have your agent ask for proof of funds for that $50,000. They need to show you proof that they have the money to cover the gap, and it needs to be in your contract that they agree to cover that gap. Because if they still have an appraisal contingency, you want to make sure they have. So for anybody that's bidding over, you want to see, okay, can you cover the gap? And if they're not willing to cover the whole $50,000, what are they willing to cover? And then you can truly evaluate offer to offer based on not just the highest offer, but the person that can cover the gap, even if the home does not appraise. I have a few videos about appraisal and appraisals, and that can kind of help you. I also have a video about a home that I listed that got several offers and how we handled that. So you can watch either one of those videos. I will have them in the description as a link as well. All right, so you're going to choose the best offer, who has the best terms and who has the best pricing. So a combination of those, you'll choose the best offer. Also in this market, you should have a binding backup offer, because if you get 30 offers, you should pick one primary offer and then one binding backup offer. So basically you're under contract with two people, a primary contract, and then you have a backup contract. If something happens with the primary contract, then that one will terminate and will automatically go to your second contract, your binding backup. So you have basically two offers. So if one falls through, you have a backup. In this market with so many offers, there's no reason for you not to have a binding backup offer on that first offer. So make sure you get at least two, especially if you have multiple offers. Because what buyers are doing in this market, is putting multiple offers out there because they don't know which one they're going to get because they're competing with so many other people. And so when they put their offers out, you may accept it and they may terminate it anyway just because, you know, they got another house or they had put out 4 offers and you weren't aware of that. So you want to make sure you have a binding backup offer. Sometimes you can get options money as well, in addition to the earnest money, because they're going to put earnest money up, try to get as much earnest money as possible. So if they do terminate outside of any contingency, you will be able to keep that money as damages for them breaking their contract to you. All right, so you went through all your offers, you chose the best offer, and now it's just a matter of going through everything in that contract. So more than likely, they may have a due diligence period that allows them to do their inspections, but because you've handled a lot of the things, you're really aware, plus your agent told you to disclose anything you know about the house. So the person that is buying your home should also already have a good deal of information about that home before they actually made the offer, before you accepted that offer. So the inspection should not turn up anything major that you wouldn't be aware of anyway. So they'll do their inspections. And then after that due diligence period, it's just a financing time where they're getting their financing approved. They also will order the appraisal to make sure the home is going to appraise. And then once those 2 things happen, then you should get the clear to close from their lender. And this is all if they're doing financing. If they're buying cash, then it's a much simpler process. It's just a matter of clearing the title. They'll probably still do an appraisal and then go to closing. But if for financing, you want the lender to give you a clear to close, and then you'll be able to close on the home. I want to go a few things. In this offer, again, when you're comparing, you should be, if you're going to get multiple offers, you should be able to get an offer that's no closing costs. You should be able to get an offer sometimes where they're paying something above appraised value, especially if you have multiple. And you should be able to negotiate, in a lot of cases, a temporary occupancy, where instead of getting your possession of your home at closing, that you can close and then you can move out of the home within 2 to 3 days. Some people are even doing up to a 30-day occupancy, but that really depends on how competitive your market is. So some markets are more competitive than others, but your agent, a very knowledgeable agent, will be able to get you as much as you can. Like pretty much sellers in a lot of markets are able to ask for exactly what they want for their clients, for their sellers. So, I mean, you definitely still want to be reasonable. You can remember when you bought a house, you want to still be reasonable. But in this market, sellers are able to pick a lot of things, and because there's not a lot of choice. And when there's not a lot of choice, you can, kind of demand a little bit more. So you're really in a good position as a seller in this market. So the last thing I want to go over is a closing attorney or the title company. In Georgia, we close with closing attorneys, but in some states they close with a title company or a title rep. So at closing, I just want you to know this. On the buyer side, you're signing a lot of documents because you are financing, in most cases, this loan. So you're signing documents basically pledging that home as collateral for the loan. So there's a lot more to sign on the buyer side than on the seller side. On the seller side, you're pretty much just transferring your ownership and signing your rights over to the house to the buyer. And after you sign a few documents, some of the fees you may have to pay is any taxes you may have to pay. You also may have to pay your commission. So now you're going to pay your agents, or not your agents, but you're going to pay your listing agent, and then you'll also see how that listing commission is split between the listing agent and the buyer's agent. Also, you are going to, if you have an HOA or taxes, you will pay for your portion. So say you sold your house in April, you're responsible for the taxes from January to April, and then the buyer is going to be responsible for whatever date in April it is through December. So you will have some prorations of you paying your part of the HOA fees, you're paying your part of the taxes, but after everything, so say your home is worth $400,000, you owed $100,000 on it, and there were some taxes, so it'd be $400,000 minus your $100,000 mortgage payoff, minus your commissions, minus your taxes. say after all of that, then you are going to get $250,000. Then you either get that $250,000 wired to you at closing, or you get a check at closing for that amount. And that's it. You hand over the keys and, you know, the garage door openers and all of that kind of stuff at closing. And you will either, if you're giving possession at closing, you've already moved out. But if you're giving possession after closing, then after closing, you give them a copy of the keys typically, even if you are staying in the house. And then you go ahead and move out 2 to 3 days later, or whatever's negotiated in your contract. I hope this was helpful as you prepare to sell in this seller's season this spring. It's March 1st, 2021, and it's a great opportunity for you to make the most of your home purchase. And if you are ready to sell, it's not a better time to do so. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel for new videos every week.